following video may contain content parents may find unsuitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, it's Minecraft time. Podcast time. And it's Hunger again. How's everybody doing? Andre is here in the chat. We are going to jump right into the Discord channel that covers this sort of thing.
Come in, you royal boob!
Yeah, what he said. Hello, Laharl in Disgaea 7 guaranteed.
Hello, everyone. And
yeah.
you.
So,
God, do you not have any idea how long it took for me to get my skin to load?
Oh yeah, no, I'm trying to. I'm currently
not just my skin, but the realm to load too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm currently.
It took me an hour to get both loading right. It took me like almost over an hour.
Yeah,
and it's just saddening.
Yeah, this is Minecraft now, Mojang. This is what we do. We have lively podcasts instead of actually playing because the game does this shit.
Right.
Anyway, I shouldn't have.
Mojang won't fix it.
I shouldn't have cursed there. I'm not far enough into the stream yet. Oh well, there goes my monetization.
Rip.
Yeah, rip my money. Not like I'm making money off of YouTube anyway.
Right. Oh, I should probably turn off the rain. Hang on a minute.
Can somebody turn off whatever is making the Minecraft do this? It's really really shitty.
I know, right?
Oh, cussed again. I'm definitely getting demonetized now. All right. Can I have this controller work, please?
Skeleton. What the fuck?
There we go. All right. Well, guess
right as I turn off the right as I turn off the stormy weather, a bunch of skeletons on skeleton horses rode in.
Sweet. Yeah. Tell them the bar is open and we have whiskey for their men and beer for their horses.
Yes.
Anyway. So yeah, surprise! It's a Brawlhalla stream. No, I'm just kidding. It depends on how fast I can and can't get into Minecraft. That's the trick there.
Yeah.
Welcome to Brawlhalla. Brawlhalla.
Alright, you little bitch.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, stop.
This is where we're at, Mojang.
He's got some
This is what playing Minecraft is. This is oh, it's legal in Finland. Good. Man.
Oh, he's got some knockback enchantment on his bow.
Uh-huh. I was worried about possibly going to Finland one day and not being able to play Minecraft. I'm glad it's legal there. Can I have skin?
Burn. That'll teach you to knock me back with your bitch ass bow. You too, buddy. I'm watching you.
Is it frozen? It looks like Minecraft is literally frozen.
It looks like it on your stream, yeah.
Yeah, no, this isn't the stream. This isn't the display on the stream lagging. This is Minecraft actually being freaking frozen on my screen.
No, there's no loading. I
literally can't even access the home menu on the fucking Switch, for the love of God. All right.
Hold the power button then.
Yeah, no, I have to. I'm actually going to have to manually take the Switch out and turn the dang thing off.
It's actually worse than mine.
All right.
Did you guys know that that Elizabeth Taylor died?
Yeah, like 11 years ago? Crazy.
Yes. Yeah. Insane.
Okay,
no, the Hutch told me she died a few days ago. I have to believe him.
Man, I don't think you have to believe Hutch on anything, honestly. Okay. I had a good idea earlier today. Sebastian's here in the chat. Hi, Sebastian.
Hello.
Yeah, Minecraft is definitely doing that.
Hello to you too, Andre Felipe, and Caps
I
Lock.
told the Switch to restart. It's kind of not.
Minecraft is being a dick, but it took me an hour and like 15 minutes to get it loading and correctly with my skin and the realm.
Can we start the
I might be able to join you guys because
can I,
I'm just trying to log back in. I got a new PC.
what is wrong with my Switch?
So, just trying to get
Didn't you say you didn't have it downloaded on your PC?
Minecraft borked my Switch. I am trying to turn the Switch on now, and it's not working.
Oh no, that's tragic.
How does? Okay, hang on. I got it. I told it to restart, and it didn't. It was like, and so like I'm having to like manually turn it the fuck back on.
That's Minecraft moment for sure.
To me,
It's not just Hunger's Minecraft. It's his Switch.
Minecraft being stupid. Okay,
Mm.
I'm back.
Okay, the Switch is.
Switch is back on. It's okay. I'm doing okay aside from the Minecraft not working, Sebastian. That's
cool.
that's kind of the bad thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, man, there's so yeah,
Not much has happened. Not much has happened with me, but
right. So yeah, Queen Elizabeth died the other day. Her name isn't Elizabeth Taylor, contrary to Hutch's belief.
Hutch's dumbassery.
But so she died. Her son, Prince Charles, was crowned king late Thursday night in UK time, I think. Or maybe that was late Thursday night U.S. time. Anyway, so he has been crowned king. He's now King Charles III, I believe. Anyway, and he gave a speech yesterday, announcing his heirs, and like basically because he was holding like 2 titles, other than being the heir to the throne of the King of England and all the nations they control. Like they like he was like a duke, and he also was Prince of Wales, and so he basically announced which of the family members he was passing those titles to. And there is a chess piece here. What is?
Damn. All I'm saying is that it should have been Prince Laharl or Prince Dimitri to become the new king.
That would have been so fucking sad.
Why did you break the glass in my floor? Why did you?
Wait, did I? I was trying to break this.
Why did you break my floor? I need to know why my floor is broken now.
I don't recall ever breaking your floor.
Somebody broke my floor, and I am upset.
I don't recall breaking your floor. I
need my floor to be unbroken immediately.
I don't recall breaking your floor. All I did was fly around this castle.
Like I saw the floor literally broke while I was standing there. Like I heard the glass break. Anyway, that was annoying. Anyway.
Ever fixed.
Okay, Caps got it. Thank you, Caps.
Okay,
all right.
Cool.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, cool. Oh god.
Alright. Good grief. Yeah. So I'm in Minecraft. I got my skin working. Everything's right.
Look at the sky, by the way. Look at the sky.
What?
Look at all
what actual shit happened?
There are rings in the sky.
Yes, I've noticed this. It's.
Is this part of the? Is this part of a?
My goodness.
Game thing, Caps?
That looks amazing, honestly.
I know, right? It looks fucking cool. It's like we're
It's like those games where you like fly and you like try to thread through the rings.
Makes me think of
this
going through those rings and that one with that one power and Here in the Forgotten Land. So I'm not going to try to say too much of that.
So what this reminds me of is that Solus is now going to have way more opportunities to experience kinetic energy.
Yes.
I mean, I can accurately fly through the rings, man.
I mean, you're going to try, and every once in a while you will hit the side of one and just die immediately.
I mean, I tried landing on one and that didn't go well.
Yeah, see. Anyway.
I'm gonna make it. I was actually gonna make it where each platform will also deal magma damage. Like the bottoms of them also have magma blocks, so if you land on them, they'll burn you.
Oh!
Well, at any rate, it ought to be more fun than Superman 64. I mean, heyo!
Hi, Sage!
No.
Hello.
Goodness.
The first king from the loom. They cheated by using
Unfortunately,
dirt
won't be
slab.
able to hang out for very long. I've got things going on in the morning.
Oh, that's fine.
And also, on that same note, I might as well go out and say it. I'm going to be taking a hiatus from the streams and so forth for a good while. I've got a lot of things going on, and
Where?
high time that I actually get this podcast started that I've been brainstorming for 2 years. And I'm giving myself a debut date of November 12th, approximately.
Huh.
So I'm going to be quite busy for a good while.
I see.
Alright, so, I'm gonna say it. This sculpture's looking kind of sus.
I so want to tear this thing down so badly. I'm telling you, I hate it.
I think there should be a command block where if you, like, stand next to it for, like, longer than 30 seconds, you just die.
That
actually would be...
Actually, I have
that would be kind of funny, though, to be
just
honest.
stand on top of one of my invisible blocks.
No. I know what that does. And I don't know where your invisible blocks are at, so because I can't see them. Anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, no, it's just...
The rings also look fantastic at night. I also tried that.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
But I'm not gonna keep it at night for too long because zombies and shit.
I love that this is just a sandbox.
It's a literal sandbox, yeah.
There's a swing set. This is just the park. This is where
an actual factual sandbox. And
we need to make a slide. We got a bench swing here.
We can make a slide out of honey blocks.
Something, I don't know. I don't know.
You know, when you cling to the walls, you just gently like slide down, and it's fun. I actually have
a
one of
Elytra
those
somewhere, and I just haven't used it. Like
me and Aquan have one of those at our building over there.
Who keeps getting pinged on Discord?
That giant square structure.
It's annoying. I use myself and do not disturb.
Sir?
I don't know why my microphone. It's probably because of the pitch. Like it's not picking up any of your voices, but it's picking up the ping sounds. The fucking
picking up the loud ass pings. Yeah.
No, it's a loud. It's a loud change in pitch. It's a really loud change in pitch. The microphone picks it up.
Yes.
Love your skin,
Also,
Caps.
do not disturb, so I don't get.
Well, thank you.
What? Oh, were you standing there? I'm sorry, I didn't notice.
Me? Yes.
No, I was talking about Caps. Like.
No, somebody said they love my skin.
Oh, okay. Love the skin you're in.
Yeah, it's like Matrixy.
Oh, this is Rockmont, Digimon World 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That is the intended reference.
Hit
there.
me with all your might.
I pushed the big red button. I mean, fitting.
I said hit me with all your might, and you did.
Yeah, there are signs right here, so you brought that on yourself.
I mean, you know.
I was like, just wait for it.
Here's the thing. The name is Burning Souls, so he died doing what he loved. Anyway.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
Right.
This is very correct. That makes sense.
That's like if Aquan died surrounded by femboy penises, you know, it's just...
Yes, that's also very fitting. He drowned in femboy penises, or rather, he choked on one and died.
Choked on a femboy dick and died. You know. Just-
Yeah.
Did you read the news?
Oh no, I didn't. Give me a second. Let's see. What's up, homies? There's a whole bunch of rings and sheet around the castle now, so you and the boys can go cruising with your elytras. Grab some rockets and get your wing cap on already. Yeah, I'm looking at you for all your up-to-date realm news. This is CNN.
CNN.
Oh, that's great. Wait a minute.
yeah.
That's totally what I'm gonna
over
do
here
if I don't
at
go
the
into an
Hedge
action
Hey.
zone.
Hey, this tree is sus. Just
I also
saying.
want to tear down the. I also want to tear down the Among Us banners so badly because they piss me off whenever I look at them.
Among Us banners are the right of all sentient beings.
Oh god.
We killed the Among Us banners. We also must destroy the Church of Ceros.
I love that these guys are here. They
These
give me-
weird guardian guys.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're actually more effective than actual golems.
Oh,
Anyway,
and what's even cool is you can smell it in their stomachs.
They're,
oh,
Here,
you
give me.
you can
Let's
put a fire in their
grab-
belly. Oh my gosh.
You can put a fire in their belly. Here, let's
Hang
put some
on.
iron or some shit in there.
hold on, let me see. Do I have any iron on
I
me?
don't have any smeltable shit in there. I got some sugar, but that doesn't work.
I smell some bones.
Where are the ores?
Can I wait? Didn't you say there was an iron factory somewhere that you built?
There is.
Oh,
I will show you in a second.
we need to make a pit of boners.
Hold up.
So speaking of Digimon, Matt McMuscles did a YouTube video today of the story of why Digimon Survive took forever to survive development purgatory.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking of sending it to you.
Oh, fun.
I also did another one like a month ago about the whole Harvest Moon story of season story.
Uh-huh.
How that kept,
Hey.
changing hands and all that.
Well, like, cause
I'll
the
send you that one eventually.
Whoa! Did you see that? I like slid across the ground.
now I thought all that was that the original developer decided they wanted to publish it themselves, and you know.
Yeah, they go into a lot more detail. Frankly, I've forgotten because it's been like a month.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I didn't mean to send you some cool videos, but I didn't want to completely...
Oh come on! I hit the button to stop flying, didn't I? Fuck.
Good job. Good job, Buzz. Go ahead and die doing
Hey.
what you love again. All right. Anyway.
I landed on a pit of fire, a bonfire, or whatever
Sorry.
that thing.
Sorry, I got Solus and Caps talking over each other. What were you saying, Caps?
Sorry, what?
Said, are you getting these weird ass Bolang errors by any chance?
No, not really.
The what?
You're not seeing any like error screens pop up when you're going by certain spots?
No, not really.
Then I
Why
guess
is the
you-
random speed up happening? By the way.
Because of the sugar. I have sugar.
Oh right, the sugar. I forgot.
Sugar, da na na na
Sugar.
na na.
Holy shit!
Sugar
Match that one
rush. Sugar rush. What's up?
I was gonna say, match the Archie's sugar with System of a Down sugar.
Yeah.
It'll be
The sugar actually gives you an energy boost.
Yeah,
It gives
like
you a
if you're
speed
holding
boost.
sugar, it makes you go faster.
But it's kind of glitched at the moment. 'cause
It is a
I'm
little
not-
glitchy. Like Caps is still
Because-
working out the kinks.
Yeah.
So where you guys at?
Congrats, Hutch.
I'm in front of your house with hunger.
And
Whee!
what did Hutch do for congrats?
Oh, he
just
won
made
a
bank in
fictitious,
Wheel of
not
Fortune.
doesn't exist prize on Wheel of Fortune or something. I
Oh
don't know.
wow.
Anyway,
Wow, the
YouTube
pepper
channel.
Are you just looking at the YouTube chat?
yeah, that's what we're doing.
Chat?
We're looking at his YouTube chat. That is the general idea.
Oh, that is cool.
It's really record breaking for me too.
Oh yeah, these paintings? Yeah, they look fucking fabulous.
Yeah.
Now that 8-bit Black Mage on the wall somewhere from earlier, is that an 8-bit theater reference?
I think it's just a black
It's
mage.
just Black Mage.
I think he's just yeah.
I guess he would have to be holding a knife right behind his back.
Yeah,
No, honestly, if you were gonna do an 8-bit theater reference, you'd want to do the shot of him doing the Kamehameha.
Oh yeah.
Kamehameha.
It wasn't a Kamehameha. It was a Hadouken.
Hadouken, that's right.
Shinku Hadouken.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Like for a GTA game? Oh, sorry. Go on. Go ahead.
Okay.
I wish that the animated series based on that hadn't, sputtered and died.
Right.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, what else? So.
Yeah, it looked more like the Kamehameha, but yeah, you're right. He did say Hadouken. So.
Yeah, it's like what I was what I was gonna say is like I was playing one of the older Fire Emblem games earlier on with the GBA, and I got to a point where I got like a black magic user on my team, like a reason magic user, and he had a fire spell, and I used it, and oh my god, the fire animation in that game looks insane for a Game Boy Advance game.
I still have
Like,
yet to see it.
The fire when it explodes on the enemy and particles fly out, it looks way too good for a GBA game. And like,
I've not seen it because I don't play the GBA Fire Emblem.
GBA was a pretty good piece of kit for its time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. The Fire Emblem games have to be some of the
My
best.
literal first GBA game was Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, aka my first Kirby game.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they got F-Zero on the GBA is pretty crazy.
Where'd you guys
Sure, that was Nightmare in Dreamland, which was my second GBA game.
Yep, I have recently acquired.
That was Pokemon Ruby, and then Emerald.
Oh. This is quite the hole here.
Water.
Where are you?
In the cave next to the Black Mage.
I recently acquired Kirby and the Lost Forgotten Land and Robobot.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Forgotten Land's awesome. You're gonna love it, man.
Land and Robobot are...
Robobot's also the best Kirby game, hands down. So
God.
you're gonna love that.
Yeah, they're both fucking great.
Yeah, I
Return of Dreamland also good.
I went on an eShop spending spree just before they cut off the
Or you're gonna be down here a while.
the
Oh, jeez.
I just wanted to
Oh,
show you the
the
iron
cards.
farm. Hunter.
Oh, okay,
You
yeah.
don't have to go. You don't have to go mining for all this shit.
I was just gonna grab some coal. I just saw there was coal here, and
I don't even know where I'm at anymore. I'm lost.
Stop me flying.
after I downloaded Robobot, I decided to get both Bravely Defaults,
ooh,
and then found out that I had just accidentally crammed my SD card.
Well, I found a dungeon down here.
what's up?
Yeah, the one downside I'd say to the
Found a
3DS.
With
Something the
Oh shit! Oh god, I'm so far down. Okay, hang on.
the Vita actually has over the 3DS. I'd say, aside from graphics, the types of games it can run they're both great systems. Don't get me wrong. They're both great systems. Don't get me wrong. PS Vita, I think it supports up to like 128 gigs, but the 3DS only supports up to 32. Like, you can't put an SD card over 32 gigs inside any 3DS model. It doesn't support anything above 32, which sucks. So
There's no official PS Vita memory card bigger than 64 gigs. I mean, two of them.
I know. Well, if you you probably didn't know this, but there's a thing you can get for your Vita. I don't know what your thoughts are on homebrewing, but if you homebrew the PS Vita, you can expand the memory size because you can get an adapter, which will save you a ton of money too, because you don't have to buy Sony's proprietary crap. You just buy this adapter. It goes into the game card slot of the Vita, and you can put a micro SD card inside of it. And it supports 128 gigs. I think it might even support more, but I know mine, when I had a Vita, I had a 128 gig SD card inside it because of this homebrew I did on it, and then I put this cartridge I got online to the game slot of the game, which was an adapter, so you don't have to pay $100 for 64 gig SD card.
Yeah,
Because-
I did that. I bought the official card twice, and
Yeah, the official card sucks. Like,
I mean, personally, modding and homebrewing is mostly not for me.
yeah,
Oh,
that's why I proceeded with the warning, because
God damn it.
I know some people get like, really
The
moral.
spiders attacking the skeleton.
Yeah, I can understand
because
why.
because one of them hit the other one.
Because
Yeah, I
of,
know.
like,
The skeletons have this
Because-
bad habit of just shooting indiscriminately at the player, and if they somehow manage to tag another monster, that other monster will get pissed and go after them.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny. I also
And
saw
then once that other monster actually attacks the skeleton, the skeleton will get mad and start attacking it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
where'd the lights
Because
go?
I know, right? Where'd the lights go?
There's no,
Someone picked them up?
Teleport to me and you'll have lights.
yeah.
It's a good plan.
And-
No, magma fall here.
The torches.
Yeah, I got rid of it.
Yeah, the light went out because you got rid of the lava.
Well, it should have stayed on. Anyway.
I know, right?
Anyways, about the whole
Anyway, what you're
homebrew
saying?
thing.
Anyways,
About the whole homebrew thing.
follow me.
Oh my. Okay. About the whole homebrew thing, Siege. I understand where you're coming from, because people can use homebrew to pirate games, but what I use homebrew for specifically
Gentlemen,
is
behold. My iron farm.
emulation and getting more out of your console than the developers
Okay.
want you to, like in terms of customizability. It's the same thing when it comes to jailbreaking an iPhone and stuff. It's like, it's up to the morals of the person who homebrews or jailbreaks or whatever, if they're going to,
So
pirate any games that came out.
here's
the last
here's
few
the
years.
here's the thing on that. So if you buy something, whether it's a PC or a game console or whatever, it is your property. You can
Yeah.
do whatever you want with it or install whatever you want on it. Now in certain cases, like if you're bricking it to where you can download games illegally, that shit's illegal. You're basically violating various copyright laws by doing that. But if you're just bricking it so that, like, for example, like the thing with the memory stick, I bricked this so that I can get this memory stick thing going on, that's fine. Like,
Yeah,
that
that's
it's
the
your
whole
piece of
reason
hardware, you
video.
can do whatever you want with it,
Yeah.
Because like the whole reason I hacked my 3DS was because of hacking the 3DS. A homebrew 3DS is amazing. The amount of emulation you can do with it, the amount of custom you can make any.
See, now you're talking about emulation, and you're getting into that shitty territory. Anyway,
I mean,
but
Yeah.
yeah.
And here's the thing on that. A lot of people have this mistaken idea that it's somehow illegal for them to own ROMs. It is not.
I wasn't saying it's illegal.
Right, I'm just clarifying it, because there's this myth on the internet that it's illegal to own a ROM, or it's illegal to own a ROM for more than a day if you don't have the physical game. That's just not true. So what the actual law is it's illegal to make copies of it and distribute those copies to other people. Like, if you have a copy of a game and you make a ROM based on that game and you use it for your personal use, you could do that. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not illegal in the slightest. And if you download a ROM from a website, that is also fine. It's something where you don't have to, basically, in that particular instance, the legal exposure, the legal wrongdoing, is on the person who's got the ROM on the website distributing it to other people. That's the illegal part, not owning the ROM.
Yeah.
So, and it's something where Nintendo has started going after some of these people that are doing that, but it's one of those things where as soon as one site falls, another one pops right up. So
Nintendo goes after people, and they also decide to shut the 3DS eShop down next year. Yeah, they get mad at people for backing up their 3DS ROMs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, and again, it's something where on the consumer end, like the person who's getting these ROMs, they're not doing anything wrong according to current copyright law.
Yeah, I mean, all the 3DS games I have, I've
as long as you're not torrenting this stuff, where you're sharing it as well as downloading it, you're not going to have any legal exposure for downloading ROMs.
I just take all my 3DS cartridges and back them up using a feature from the homebrew. Like, it basically allows it to where I can just own them all on the system instead of having to, put the cartridges in, get a huge carrying case and all that crap. Like,
all right.
Yeah, I wish that would be easier for me though.
All right, Caps. So how does this thing work?
I don't know how. You just dig them up with your pickaxe.
Yep.
And anyway, I don't know how to hack my 3DS. That's why I say that.
So you
right now.
Do this. It works just like at the Pokemart.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, yeah. So you just go ahead and use your pickaxe to mine the thing, and then and then it replaces it automatically. Is that?
It works just like the Pokemart.
But I'd use Fortune instead.
Watch. Wait. Let me see. There.
See? Iron Farm.
Yeah.
Highly efficient.
Yeah, that's very cool, actually.
Holy shit.
Yeah, at the stage I'm in right now with collecting and so forth, if I were to stumble upon...
Oh, you were saying?
If I were to stumble upon or somewhere receive a GBA flash card SD adapter thing, I would probably find me a GBA with IPS mod and throw a bunch of ROMs on it and call it a day.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have a new drive and it's awesome. It's like the best thing to own ever for GBA games.
Yeah.
Wait, what is?
Steve was talking about a flash card, like the EverDrive. So basically, he would get himself a modded GBA with a backlit screen, because that's the best way to play. Because the original GBA, I think, is Nintendo's best console design. Like the same with the Switch, like the rectangular design. It feels really comfortable to hold. Right. Same thing for the PS4.
Oh yeah,
as far as design, the Switch itself has a decent design, but the Joy-Cons need some major work.
The Joy-Cons
the whole thing with the drift and all that other crap that they have. The Joy-Cons have tons and tons of problems. They need another decade or so of workshopping at least. Before they're actually ready for human consumption. I guess
Bless you.
I don't necessarily condone hacking, and here's why. I feel like if you like a game, you should be willing to pay the money for it and support the people that made it, so that they make more games like it. But I also understand that a lot of those games are very hard to get or are really hard to obtain. So I understand why people download ROMs and play them. And so I'm not judging people. I just feel like, I play ROM hacks, which is a whole different ball game. So I will download a ROM if I need it to play a ROM hack. But so far, the only time I've played a ROM on the computer for a game that I didn't own, basically I've played ROMs for games that I didn't own before, but it was games that I like couldn't obtain, like games that were Japanese only or were just otherwise really hard to get, you know. And I've also played like on the channel, the only ROM that I've actually played that wasn't a ROM hack was a Fire Red ROM. I have a copy of Fire Red. I just didn't want. At the time I didn't have the capture card to play it on stream. I do now. So I could stick my copy of Fire Red into my Game Boy player on my GameCube and play it that way, but I've already played it on the channel, so I'm not gonna.
The way I look at that is pretty similar, but for like the legality's sake, because the way I look at it is if a game is out of circulation, like say a GBA game or a DS game, there's like a 0% chance or like a very low, like maybe a 5% chance you'll find a DS Lite game for sale by Nintendo going to those developers. Instead, the money would just be going to GameStop pre-owned.
Right. And that's the other thing on that is that, like, for example, on things like the DS and the 3DS, I don't have a capture card to play that on stream for you guys. So if I really want to play a game that was exclusive to one of those two consoles on stream, I'm pretty much left with no choice but to emulate. You know,
like
so...
It's like for that, and also for...
do the mod for that.
Yeah, there are hard mods for 3DS capture cards.
Yes,
but
you can get, but the thing is, it's harder and harder to find somebody who can do them for you.
Yeah, it is.
Like, because there used to be a ton of them doing it, but it's fallen out of popularity with the advent of the Switch, and so there's a lot less people willing to do it, and the people that are doing it are like backlogged. Like, it's like, oh, you want me to do that for you? Yeah, it'll be $300 in 6 months. You know, like.
Yeah. Also, the 3D. My point was also more so that the 3DS games, like the money still probably goes to the devs because those games are still in circulation. But DS games, GBA games, PS2 games, GameCube, Wii, stuff like that, the Wii shop is down. Like, if an online shop that did exist is down, and there are no physical copies being sold brand new, and they're just being sold by like someone on eBay or something. The money's not going to the devs, and at that point, the way I see it is, if the game is that old to where the devs aren't getting a single cent from you when you pay money for it, like Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, I'm just gonna be honest, I have no issue emulating that game morally because all you can find for it's on eBay for like $400 from some guy because it's a rare GameCube game, but none of that money is going to Nintendo, and at this current point, Nintendo has not re-released that game.
And so the thing, here's the thing, Nintendo and all these other console companies, like all these other video game companies, understand that they don't get any of that money, and it pisses them off to no end. They want a piece of that action so bad. When that guy sells that on eBay for $400, they want at least 25% of that. Like it's something where it chaps their ass to no end that they are not like involved in every step of the sale process because of the first sale doctrine here in the US. That's why all these video game companies want desperately to go digital only, because then they get to control the distribution of this stuff, and it becomes much harder for people to get copies of it by buying it from someone else. So they really want to go digital only. And we need to do everything we can to stop them from doing that.
Yeah, we do. That screws over everyone. Not only does it just screw up people without Wi-Fi, but imagine what happens when the internet servers for those consoles shut down.
Exactly.
And someone happens to free up space on the system or something. They want to re-download a game.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't anymore.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, like all these consoles are like, oh yeah, you buy it, you download it, you get it forever. Like I had a few videos saved on my Xbox that I had downloaded, and they had basically decided not to offer them anymore. Basically the videos that I had, like I still had them downloaded, but like I went to try and play them one day, and it's like, oh, this file's corrupted, you can't play it, and so I tried to re-download it, and it's not on their servers anymore. So
Yeah,
I'm just SOL on those videos. You know,
Yeah,
it's just not something I can. It's just not something I can get back anymore.
Someone tore a hole through my window.
And those particular videos weren't something that I paid for. I'd be much more upset if I had. But it's still like, you know, why would I go out of my way to pay for stuff on the Xbox if that type of shit's just going to keep happening to it?
Yeah,
You know,
dumb.
or any other digital only platform where you're just downloading something onto a hard drive or a SD card or whatever, you know, like so.
I hate to break it to you, but they're going to be change. They can and will change DRM for even the use of physical copies.
They can't actually. There's a law here in the U.S. called the First Sale Doctrine. The First Sale Doctrine says that once you buy something, it is yours, and you can do as you please with it. On that copy of Digimon Survive, there was this BS thing at the beginning where they were trying to get you to agree to some terms and service and whatnot. If I had the resources and whatnot, I could have paid somebody to hack into it and bypass that, so I would never have to agree to that, and I would be perfectly within my rights to do so. They cannot. The BS that they were trying to get me to agree to there, where it said that they could basically stop me from playing that game anytime I want, that is illegal. There have been numerous court cases that have established precedent that say if you have an agreement like that, it needs to be presented to the person buying the thing at this point of sale, not after. Any of those types of terms and conditions cannot be presented after the sale, especially if that sale is non-refundable.
Yeah, that's dumb.
There's been numerous lawsuits over shit just like that, and judges have ruled against the companies that try to impose that shit every time. There is no legal precedent that says that they can change the digital rights management for any physical copies. And if they try it, they will get class action lawsuit and they will lose. You know.
Well, I hope you're right, because
there's plenty of legal precedent for it. There's numerous there was actually a thing on there was actually a thing with Disney versus Redbox, where Redbox was buying Disney Blu-ray DVD combos, right? And then they were putting the DVD and the Blu-ray in there for rent, and then later on they were selling the DVD and the Blu-ray separately, and they were selling the digital copy. But there was a thing inside of the package that said, you can't resell this digital copy, it's ours, we sold it, and we're the only ones who can sell it. But a judge ruled that Redbox didn't have to follow that agreement because it's a one-sided agreement that was presented to them after the point of sale. And that's the type of agreement that Namco put in their terms and conditions for Digimon Survive. It's a one-sided agreement that only benefits them, and it's presented after the point of sale. It's not something that you can decline and continue to play once you've already bought the thing, and you have the right to play that game once you buy it. They can't present you with extra terms and conditions to play a game. If you open up if you buy a copy of Monopoly and it says, hey, there's this board game in here, and then it has a contract in there, and they say, hey, you have to sign this contract and mail it to us, or else you can't play this copy of Monopoly. You don't have to do that. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to do that. They're going to shred that contract.
Very much. They're going to.
It's like,
nobody in the right mind would sign something.
Yeah,
like
can you
that.
imagine getting a contract in your Monopoly game and it says you have to sign this contract in order to play this copy of Monopoly. And this contract, it says we can come into your house and take this copy of Monopoly from you whenever we want because we own it and you don't, and all this other crap. It's like, no, that's not the type of shit that you can pull off. It's something that
That's not the stuff that you
if
can
you
just
have a
do.
contract like that, it has to be presented at the point of sale before the transaction is complete. Once that transaction is complete, you own it. You can do whatever you want with it. That is your right as part of the first sale doctrine. And the first sale doctrine has not been repealed or replaced by our current government, as far as I know. So.
Yes.
The first sale doctrine protects you as a consumer from shady consumer bullshit tactics like what Bandai Namco tried to do with Digimon Survive. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not a lawyer. This isn't legal advice or anything, but like from what I have seen, that is my opinion. And it's a non-lawyer's opinion about a law. So if you are watching this and you want to sue somebody over some shit like that, make sure you talk to an actual lawyer who specializes in that.
Also, an actual lawyer. Yeah.
Although I do agree with you, Hunger. It's obviously common sense that if someone pays money for something,
I agree with you too.
Yeah.
But let's not forget common sense.
You pay for the game, you don't sign a contract in order to play the game. It's not right.
Okay, so it's funny how Rue likes to shit on Nintendo, but then we see Bandai Namco being like 100 times worse than Nintendo when it comes to this crap.
Bandai Namco is quickly becoming one of my least favorite companies ever.
Please let Siege talk. I want to hear what he's saying.
Well, first we need to remember that the funeral for common sense was overshadowed by the services for one Jin Henson. And also, you read back when there were still instruction manuals, you would read in the back of them that you were not buying a copy of the game, you were being issued a license to play the game, and you simply got a copy as a courtesy.
They can write that however they want. It doesn't make it true. It's been tested in court time and time again, and they lose every fucking time. I'm telling you.
If they somehow ever did manage to put DRMs on a system that kept a certain person from playing their game if they violated the rights or whatever, that person could, through the means of homebrew or whatever, find out how to hack their system and remove that DRM from blocking them from playing the game that they own, that they paid money for, because I also don't condone piracy. Like, I don't consider downloading a GBA ROM or a DS ROM anything before like the 3DS era, Wii U era, because those games are still distributed digitally, so companies can still make money for them, right? But anything from an era that is now not being basically dead, as it pains me to call games from my childhood dead, they essentially are. They don't make any more money for the companies, as I said earlier. There's no issue to downloading ROMs of those, and if someone does get like Bandai Namco stopped you from playing Digimon Survive Hunger if you ever somehow violated their rights, somehow bullshit or something that they tried to pull, there could always be a way to remove that DRM. But what sucks right now is the Switch is hard to homebrew, so at the current state, if Bandai does ban you, I doubt they will, but if they ever did, it would suck, because there'd just be no way to... I would sue if I were you, if they ever did do that. Just saying.
The case that I was trying to bring up, that's an example of how they can skirt around all this. A couple years ago,
buying Digimon Survive. It looks like a great game, but I am really hesitant on buying it in the current state because of that.
Right, yeah.
Can I point out one thing really quick? Hutch needs to shut the fuck up.
Okay. Thank you. Anyway, go on, Siege.
You were saying?
A couple years ago, there's this issue that popped up with PlayStation Network. And it was discovered that if you had a PlayStation 3 with a bad CMOS battery, it would not be able to connect correctly to the PlayStation Network.
Right.
And that would render all of your digital purchases null and void. But this would also render, if you had the same issue, the PlayStation 4, you wouldn't even be able to play your physical games.
Yeah.
Because it would have to connect to whatever server handles their trophy information to make sure that your trophies weren't being hacked or cheated. It fixed the issue for PlayStation 4, because the PlayStation 5 operates on the same wavelength.
Right.
PlayStation 3, you still have to have a good BIOS battery or CMOS battery or be able to connect to the PlayStation Network in order to play any of your digital games.
Right. So the reason
and what they could do is on the slide make basically undo that patch that they fixed on the PlayStation 4 and just make it to where the PS4s and PS5s are bricks one day and say, oops, I'm sorry, it's an irreconcilable programming error. You don't actually own your games anymore. Sorry, ta-ta, buy a PlayStation 6 or GTFO.
So here's the issue with that.
I'm not here to argue, I'm just bringing it up as an example.
I know you're bringing it up as an example, but I'm explaining why I don't think that works. So with the PlayStation 3, they can basically argue, hey, that's a hardware failure. It's not something that we can control. Deal with it. You know, they don't have to fix this issue that happened with the hardware. You know, if you don't like it so much, get a new battery. You know, like you have the right to repair your own shit. So you know, they could basically say, hey, you own the console. You have the right to repair it. You go fix it. Now, hi Sebastian. Anyway, now with the PlayStation 4, since they actually did put out a patch that fixed it, if they go back and try to unpatch it or try to put out a new patch that fucks up that fix, that's the same thing that Apple got in trouble for. Apple was putting out updates for their quote unquote updates for their iPhone that made the older models function worse. And they actually got in trouble in court for doing that because of the first sale doctrine, because they were basically forcing these updates onto these phones. No, Sebastian, I don't want to Skype with you on stream. I'm sorry. Anyway, anyway, they had an issue legally where Apple was putting out updates for their older model iPhones that was causing them to function less properly, so that people would feel like they had to go and buy a new one, and they actually got sued over it, and they ended up having to pay out a settlement, and they were enjoined by a court against ever doing that again. Which means that if they ever are found to be doing that again, they will be in contempt of court. Okay? So, you know, that's a big deal. Like...
Yeah, my point is, if Sony can do a patch for the PS4 that makes it operate the way it should, but not do it for PlayStation 3, then, you know...
Right.
It's not just to fix the battery. It's not just an issue of telling people to replace the battery. It's an issue of you are trying to lock people out of the stuff they paid for on purpose.
Right. No. Here's the thing, though. They can argue that it's not on purpose and that it's a hardware failure for the PS3. Like, it sucks for the people who bought a PS3 that are now locked out of their purchases because of this. But PlayStation could argue, hey, that's not something that we did intentionally. That's just a hardware error and the fallout from it.
Yeah, but you remember they also...
Well, also, PS3s are past the end of life.
Wait, what?
PS3s are past the end of life. They don't support the networks, the PlayStation Plus network on the PS3 anymore.
Right.
And there's a lot of games that require the PlayStation Network, so they don't function.
Right. Yeah, and the thing is, you know, it would have been nice of them if they had put out a patch or something that let those games function independently of the network, but they weren't required to do that, and that was a flaw that the PS3 had when it was made, and people who bought it should have known that. So I don't really feel a ton of sympathy for people who were experiencing that issue. You know, I mean, I do think it sucks, and I think that PlayStation could have handled it better, but they weren't required to handle it better, which is kind of a different discussion, really. If they should have been required to handle that differently. But the PlayStation 4, since they actually did fix it, they are now liable if they try to unfix it. It's, for example, if you have a driveway, for example, and there is ice all over that driveway, if somebody walks by and slips on that ice, it's an act of God. You are not held liable for that. Now, if you go out with your snow shovel and your rock salt and you try to fix that ice, you try to scrape that ice up and get rid of it, and you miss a spot, and then somebody walks by and they slip on that spot, you are liable for that shit. You are liable for any damages that they suffer because you didn't do a good enough job cleaning up that ice. So the fact that PlayStation went and purposely tried to fix the error on the PS4 means that that they are now liable if it stops working.
Yep.
You know.
Also, another thing about PS4,
They also got in trouble with court for removing the other OS function on the PS3.
Yes, they did.
I need to say this now. I've been trying to say this the whole time to add to the conversation. Sorry. It's related to the conversation though. One of my friends, he had a PS4, and he got banned from PlayStation Network because he was making too many purchases in like an online game or something. A really stupid reason he got banned. But you want to know what happened when he was banned? Not only was he not allowed to play online anymore, but all of his downloaded games, all of his digitally downloaded games, had this lock icon next to them that said, "You cannot play this game."
Right.
Unless, and he called their support, and they said to unlock his account, he had to pay him like almost $1,000 just to unban his account.
That doesn't sound right.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I hate Sony. I absolutely hate Sony after that.
That's basically just a buyer beware situation. Don't trust Sony and buy their consoles until they start doing things right. And don't trust some of these other people who want to be in that same position. Sony is just doing what everybody else wants to do, but they're doing it faster. You know,
they're like making the PS5 like over $600.
Are you trying to say that Xbox did anything better? I mean, come on.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying that Xbox would do the exact same shit if they thought they could get away with it. The fact that they're not is just because they want to have the moral high ground over Sony on one thing. You know, like they would do the same shit in a heartbeat if they didn't have the competition anymore.
That is true. Yeah, this is true. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, look at what they did with the 360 on the Red Rings. Like they had designed it to Red Ring so that they could force people to pay them to fix it.
No. The Red Ring was a defect that was in a specific model of the Xbox. And when mine red ringed, they didn't charge me a damn cent to fix the damn thing. That's
just how they are.
Yeah,
because it was still within warranty.
Yeah, but it's something where most of the red rings that happened to Xboxes happened within the first year anyway. It was only the people that were really, really lightly playing them that had issues outside of their warranties. Like
it was rushed to market to beat PlayStation 3.
It was an issue. It wasn't an issue where they intentionally designed it to fail. It was an issue where they tried to get it on the market too quickly and it started failing. And it was the Elite series that had the problem.
Because they didn't have a proper coolant system. Like basically, with the heatsink, they didn't have the proper spacer for the heatsink, which was like a part that's like an eighth of a cent.
Right.
When you buy it in bulk,
the Xbox 360 cut a lot of corners to get the price point down as low as they possibly could so that they could use that as a competing point against Sony. Their whole goal with the 360...
An eighth of a cent is not going to have any reasonable impact.
Like, you're preaching to the choir on that. I get it. Like, they did the same thing with the little thing that holds the CD in place while the system's moving. If you put a CD or a disc in your system and then move it around, it can scratch up and damage the disc because it doesn't have a part that's worth like a penny that stops it from doing that. You know, but like I said, they cut corners, little corners, everywhere that they possibly could to drive the price point as low as they possibly could, so that they could go to market and say, hey, look at how much cheaper than PlayStation we are. You could buy a 360 and a Wii and still not pay as much as you would for a freaking PlayStation. You know? There was actually an ad campaign called Wii 60 where they were advertising that you could get a Wii and a 360 for less than a PlayStation cost at the time. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it was something that they were very intent on doing. They wanted to show that they were the lower priced option, and it worked. It you know, during that generation, Xbox was the console everybody had, and PlayStation wasn't. Like, you know, in the previous generation, PlayStation 2 was so dominant because they had gotten to market before the Xbox. You know, they were already installed in everybody's homes. People wanted games for that, and not the Xbox. You know?
And also,
Yeah, but like,
I do want to apologize.
with the Xbox One, they deliberately made it so that the disk drives fail. I've gone through like 3 Xbox Ones, and all of them the disk drive fails.
Hunger,
I
where are you?
do want to apologize.
I'm just running around at random.
Can you teleport
I do
me?
want to apologize and correct myself real quick. When I was saying I don't like Sony, I'm talking about current day Sony. Because keep in mind, I'm the guy who owns 2 PSP 3000 models. Miss my PS Vita that I sold back in middle school that I regret selling, and also love the PS1 and PS2. The PS3 I'm alright with. The PS4 has Bloodborne, which is a fun game, but I'm not in any way saying the old Sony's bad. I just don't like the new corporate Sony that thinks it's fine to make the PS5 cheaper to produce and more expensive at the same time.
Right.
I agree.
To somehow stop scalping. Scalping is
The
still going to
old,
happen.
the old Sony was better than
Right,
this.
yeah. Once
I'm
you
not
got...
attacking Sony, and I'm not implying that Microsoft's better because I also don't like the Xbox. I mean, I traded my
Microsoft is
Xbox
better.
One,
Right.
Xbox Series X in for a gaming PC.
Right.
So
Yeah, Microsoft is no better.
Yeah, once you got to like the PS3, Sony went downhill real fast.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
PS3 did have
PS3
some
did outsell the Xbox 360 by about $1 million after the generation.
after it was all said and done, yes. But in the early part of the generation, 360 did outsell by quite a bit, and they sold more games. Because people, games that were available on everything, more people had the 360 for most of that generation, so they were buying the games on that. So 360 got more money in the royalties and whatnot that they get for the game companies chipping in a little piece of the action every time they sell a game for the 360. So
that's standard for all consoles.
right, but like I said, they made more money off of that than what Sony ended up making off of their games, just because they had more units and more houses than Sony did for most of that gen. Like you said, PS3 did eventually sell more, but that's largely because Sony will keep up production on their old consoles well into the new one's lifespan. Sony kept up PS2 sales well into the PS3's life cycle. Like at least 1 or 2 years.
PS5's out, they're still making PS4s.
Exactly. Yeah. Sony does that. So it's not surprising.
Microsoft does that, but only if that previous machine was a resounding success.
Right, and that's the
They
thing.
did like a third cosmetic revision of the Xbox 360, the E model.
Right. Yeah. Right. And they did do when the Xbox 360 came out, though, they were just like, oh, the Xbox 360 is mostly backwards compatible with Xbox. You don't need this Xbox anymore. Have this, and they didn't really keep the Xbox around very long into the 360's lifespan.
It was less than 50% backwards compatible, and
I know,
the
but
Xbox One is less than 25% backwards compatible.
But they
kind of a
still
shame.
build it as being almost completely backwards compatible because
Right.
because they knew that all the games that people really liked on the 360 or on the Xbox were going to be on the 360 and backwards compatible. But you know,
It's also a shame because the Xbox
Yeah, but they did make
had
it so that the drives would fail quickly, and they made it so that if you try and replace the drive yourself without sending it in, it'll end up bricking your system.
are you talking about like the hard drive?
No, like the disk drive.
The disk drive. Okay. Yeah,
No, the
so
disk drive.
I've never had I've never had a disk drive for the 360 actually fail on me. I have had some issues with the thing, you know, like sometimes not going in and out properly, but I've never had one like out and out fail and like the disc gets stuck in there or you can't get it out or anything like that on a 360. So I don't think that was something that was done intentionally. I do think that it's something that can happen via wear and tear on anything that has a tray-based disk drive like that.
Yeah, no, like I think it's intentional because on the Xbox One, I've gone through 3 of them where the issue is that the disk drive fails every time.
Yeah, and
Is it the
here's
drive or the loading mechanism that pulls it in?
I mean, the original Xbox One is garbage. The S model, the X model, and the Series X are better in terms of build quality, like much better. But if you're talking about the original Xbox One, I wouldn't be surprised because the first model Xbox One is terrible and quite possibly the worst console of that generation in terms of build quality. The PS4 beats it out of the water.
Yes, it does. Very much. Even though
The second
I
Xbox
have very
One-
little. I have very little experience with Xbox consoles. So.
Yeah, I have never owned an Xbox One, so I can't really speak to the quality
It's
of that.
it's a very bad console. Not
Me
gonna
neither.
lie.
But and one of the reasons I don't own one is because I never really saw a lot of exclusive games on it that I was like, oh, I gotta play that. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
same here.
you know,
Same as well as the PS games.
with me, the
PS4
Switch
has
just
Bloodborne,
just
and that's
had
a good
way
game.
more exclusive titles that I was like, oh,
I
I
mean,
need that.
Bloodborne, I'm sure, is pretty nice,
know?
but
So
Yeah, I'm gonna be getting the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch, simply because I want something where you can play physical copies of games.
yeah. Well, here's my advice if you do decide to get a Nintendo Switch. Get a controller. Don't get Joy-Con. Don't get extra Joy-Cons. Get a Pro controller or get
a Pro controller. Yeah,
get a corded controller. I have a corded controller. It works great. The new corded controllers that they've been putting out for the Switch have the cord is like a cell phone charger. Like you could replace the cord if it gets frayed. So
I have like a
custom
made
Pro controller
that I got for Christmas.
It is heaven in your hands.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so like I said, it's something where if you don't want to mess with the batteries on the Pro controller, you can get a corded one and they work just fine. If you don't want to mess with the wire on the corded controllers, you can get a Pro controller and they come well reviewed as well. But don't get more Joy-Cons. They're a waste of fucking money. They will eventually start wearing out and having issues like connecting to the system or drifting. They're shit. So. Unless you really like the motion gaming, then you don't need more Joy-Cons.
I've had a wired controller that once started drifting on me, as well as a non-wired one.
Yeah.
Then I replaced that with the one I'm currently using now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the wired controllers are way cheaper than Joy-Cons. So if one of them starts messing up on you, it's only going to cost you like $25 to replace it. It's not going to cost you like 50 or 60 like a set of Joy-Cons will.
Which is why I never use Joy-Cons because they're garbage.
Yeah.
Even then, there's still downsides to the drifting with all controllers. I will say the Pro controller, like the official Pro controller, is probably the best designed Switch controller out there. I've heard people say that theirs have drifted, but there's very few cases of them drifting. It's not as bad as the PS5 controller. You can
get drifting with any controller. It's something that can happen with any brand on any controller.
Even not
the Joy-Cons are like they have this. They have the material that they chose for the bottom part of the joystick inside of the controller is inferior bullshit. It breaks really easily. Like it's really brittle. and they never should have chosen that particular material. If they had beta tested it even a little bit, they should have known that stuff wears out way too fucking fast. Like,
yeah, the PS5 controller is similar too. I've heard the PS5 controllers are really good in terms of quality.
Yeah. Are there any multiplayer games for the Switch?
There's tons of them. It just depends on what kind of multiplayer you're into. Because there's the Super Smash Brothers on the Switch. You can play up to 8 people locally.
Yes.
That's
what I was looking for.
Yeah, you just have to have the controllers and shit for it. So
yeah, you have to have controllers.
And that game is that game you can actually connect a DS as a controller.
Yeah,
like the 3DS?
Yes.
Yeah, the 3DS.
I
Nice.
believe you can only do that with Smash 4 on the Wii U.
Are you sure you can't do it on the
I am-
Switch?
I am 99.
No, you're thinking of Smash Bros. 4, the one for the Wii U.
Okay, yeah, I might be thinking of the one on the Wii U because I have that one and we definitely
Switch
did that.
version still support the Switch version still supports the GameCube adapter though.
Okay, yeah, so the GameCube adapter.
The one that you
yeah.
use GameCube controllers. Yeah.
Anyway, so
yeah.
yes, but the point is you have a lot of controller options on it. Sorry, I may have missed on the
it's
DS
okay.
controller thing.
But
But anyway,
Very important. I would recommend you hold out until at least next spring, because if Nintendo's going to do an upgraded Switch, like a Switch Pro, that's when they would announce it, at the start of the next fiscal year.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be getting it soon because it's not going to actually cost me anything. I'm getting it through the rewards program at work.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, OLED.
Yeah.
Also, I got an email from Nintendo saying that if I don't update or if I don't move stuff from the 3DSs to either a Wii or a Switch, then like my Nintendo profiles will go away in January. So.
Yeah. Yep. So there's a the new Pokemon game that's coming up, Pokemon
Scarlet, Violet,
Scarlet, Pokemon Violet. They have a thing where you can link up with other players while you're playing, and you can explore the overworld together. So
really,
yeah,
that's
yes.
The game is going to
cool.
play like a fucking MMO. I swear to God, like it's
Where the raids are gonna work, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's raid battles that you can do multiplayer on. Who the fuck is blowing up what? God damn. Anyway, so there's raid battles that you can do with up to 3 other players, and they've shown people in parties of 4 adventuring together. What the actual shit is happening here?
what?
This is exploding real good.
There are some pretty good multiplayer games on the Switch, like first party and third party, so I definitely recommend it. The thing about the Switch, what's really good for multiplayer is because of the multiple options you have of course Wi-Fi, and also since the handheld console hybrid, they've also got a dock, and if you switch OLED, it has a much better dock than the first model. You can basically host a LAN party with up to 8 switches, or even more, like Mario Kart, you can host up to 12 players or something. Basically, Switch gave a lot of multiplayer options, and Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has really big multiplayer options, huge parties and stuff. Mario Party, I guess, too. So yeah, it's definitely a good console.
Sorry, I couldn't hear I couldn't hear a lot of that with all the explosions going off. I'm sorry.
It's alright. The explosions cuffed me. Of course they did.
All right.
What explosions are you talking about?
I'm playing Minecraft, and there was some sort of massive chain explosion inside of a ball of bedrock going on behind me, and I couldn't hear a fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, good thing I have the TV unit. Hey. Listen, I'm in
the Minecraft game with you.
Yeah, you are. I know.
Are you
I can see
following me? Because
no, I'm in my own little area.
Right.
I have no idea where you are.
Yeah, see, I'm like way the fuck over here, and there was like this ball of bedrock, and there was a bunch of explosions going off inside of it, and it was just creating a ton of noise.
Yeah, I have the TV muted, thankfully,
Yeah.
so I heard everything he said.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's good. Yeah,
that's why Hutch said, "What the hell is going on?" in the chat. Anyway,
Or like people like to shit on Nintendo and say they're a bad gaming company, but I think at least when it comes to like they do make bad business decisions for sure, and I hate the bad business decisions they make. But I will say Nintendo still has this charm; they still have exclusives. The PlayStation 5 has no games. The Xbox, those exclusives are also on PC. Like I see those on Steam right now. Halo Infinite, that's on Steam. Gears of War, that's on Steam, I think, as well. Like.
yeah, I think Final Fantasy VII Remake is on the Switch, isn't it? Or is it?
Like,
or
no,
is
Final Fantasy VII Remake would make the Switch have an aneurysm just to load its title screen.
No, I know, but even then,
I thought
Final
it was going to
Fantasy
be
VII
one of those
Remake
things
isn't
where
even finished. It's that game, Final Fantasy VII Remake, was announced the same time Breath of the Wild was announced, back when we just called it Zelda Wii U. Because I remember I was hyped for both of those games. It was going to be a PS4 remake of Final Fantasy VII and a Zelda Wii U game. I was super hyped for both of them. Breath of the Wild came out in 2017. By that time, we hadn't even gotten the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh,
And
okay,
now-
no, it was Final Fantasy VII Remastered that was on the Switch. Sorry.
Yeah, master, not remake.
Yeah, the remake sucks. It doesn't suck, but the production, I don't know. First of all, they're changing up the story a bit. I don't like that. They're changing things in the story. And another thing I don't like is how long it's taking. It's taking way too long. And Breath of the Wild was delayed, but Breath of the Wild is a huge open world Zelda game that came out like 4 years ago by now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and and they're releasing it in chapters. So like part 1 was on the PlayStation 4. Part 2 is exclusive to the PlayStation 5.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I know, it's bad.
Yeah, they're trying to get people to buy the PlayStation 5, and it's like all you're doing is killing your Final Fantasy base. I mean,
I agree.
Final Fantasy VII is my favorite Final Fantasy game, and it's considered one of the best Final Fantasy games, or at least one of the best RPGs or most influential RPGs of all time. Being the main reason, one of the main reasons the PS1 sold so well is because of that game, and the fact that game isn't even going to be, unless you own like a PlayStation 6 in full, then it's
okay. So I just Googled this, right? There's an article from June, and it's talking about this leak that alleges that that Final Fantasy VII Remake will be coming to PC, Xbox, and Switch. And it said the Switch handling. There's a line in the article, and this is just funny. It says the Switch handling an FF7 remaster. I doubt it, unless it's a cloud version. Cloud version, get it?
Oh my god!
Okay, here's something I want to say. That
Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PlayStation 5, and it's also available for Epic.
Yeah. There would be
the thing about it being on PC, totally true.
Right.
Xbox, I have a feeling that Sony's going to buy Square Enix.
I mean,
again,
Epic Games Launcher is kind of, I'm iffy on it because it's like, I don't know. I feel like it should be on Steam as well, not just Epic Games Launcher, because I don't know. I have my fair share of gripes of Epic Games, so
yeah, same.
As do a lot of PC players.
Although there are no
free games dropping every week.
Right. It also says that there's going to be a port of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core on the Switch, but anyway.
Oh, that's
the Crisis Core remaster. That's a little more likely, but not really.
Posted on June 29th, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is coming to Switch. Square Enix just revealed.
Also,
will launch this winter. Anyway.
You want to hear something funny about cloud versions? Definitely, they would have to do a cloud version of that game to advance for the Switch. But you want to know what has no reason to exist? the cloud versions of the Kingdom Hearts games. Maybe 3, but definitely not the others. The Switch could easily run the other Kingdom Hearts games. I can understand Kingdom Hearts 3 needing a cloud version, but as I'm aware, Nier Automata and Persona 5 are both coming to the Switch. Confirmed. Not cloud, physically running. That's Nier Automata, which is a pretty good-looking game.
Okay.
I'm gonna die.
So, can I answer Siege's question now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was asking which site I was looking at. There's a couple of sites. One of them is NintendoEverything.com. Let's see. There was a couple of them. But anyway. But yeah. So that was... there was a couple of different links to articles saying that Crisis Core will be on the Switch coming this winter. Anyway. But yeah.
Okay, did you respond to me saying
Video Games
that Nier's
Chronicle, express.co.uk, there's several sites covering this. Anyway.
But yeah, so Nier Automata is coming to the Switch, which is pretty cool.
I definitely think that they could do physical copies of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 based on the PS3 versions of the remasters, not the PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah, the problem is they used the Xbox One and PS4 versions of the remasters. However, they could have easily just used the PS3 versions. I mean, look at Nier Automata and Persona 5 are both coming to the Switch, and I know they'll run because they have footage of Nier Automata running on the Switch already, and Persona 5 is also a PS3 game. I know there's a PS4 version, but it also runs on the PS3. It can run on the Switch. I have no doubt that they'll be able to make, especially since Persona 5 is cel-shaded.
Cell shading actually is more taxing more often than not than standard shading.
I mean, yeah, but look at Breath of the Wild. That game runs like a solid, majority of the time, a solid 30 FPS on the Switch. And
on the Wii U, not so much, but on the Switch, yeah, it runs pretty nice.
The Wii U version is...
They eventually just gave up giving the Wii U version any performance patches.
Yeah, no, it runs relatively well, but it does lag a lot in certain areas.
Like the forest, Lost Woods. But Kapataru, I think you were saying that, did you have any reaction to me saying of any of those games coming to the Switch? I think you might have.
I don't remember which games you had mentioned.
I mentioned Nier Automata and Persona 5, and I think you might have said something about Nier Automata.
I don't remember it if I did. I know that, I know that I'm looking forward to getting the Switch because there should be some interesting games, but I don't know what and all is going to be local multiplayer that I'm going to be into. So
okay.
I would recommend Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order and its DLC.
Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Melty Blood Type Lumina's on the Switch. That's a fun game.
Pokemon Sword.
I've never played
Shield.
that one. What is it? Wait, what did you say? What did you say it was called?
The game with the funny Neko arc.
Oh, that.
Melty Blood. Yeah. It's a fairly recent game, like a year ago or so. It's a good game though.
I need to see.
If you like arcade racers, there's Cruisin' Blast.
What was that?
And there's Mario Party Deluxe. There's Smash Bros. Ultimate, which has
I just said Smash Bros.
Oh, sorry.
Right,
there's
Smash Brothers. The Pokemon Sword and Shield actually has some really cool multiplayer functions, like the raid battles and the Max Adventures. Of course, the Max Adventures are part of the DLC, but we still do.
Why are going to make that better though?
Yeah.
And also, if you like 1v1 fighting games, I definitely recommend Pokken Tournament Deluxe. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Really fun game.
I would give a half-hearted recommendation for Pokken because it's really weird.
Yeah.
There's also
fighting games, but I was playing with a friend just yesterday, and it's really hard to get used to the game mechanics. It's like gotten two different kinds of battle phases, field phase and duel phase.
Yeah.
Certain abilities are locked out between the two.
Hey, can I just say something really quick? I mean, there's another. Skullgirls is another good fighting game.
Okay.
There, I said it.
All right. So the thing with Pokken is, I think the reason it seems so weird on the Wii U is because it was, on the Switch, is that it was originally designed for the Wii U. Rather than something that was designed for the Switch and then was ported down to the Wii U, it was originally designed for the Wii U and then ported up to the Switch. And the Wii U had the thing with the two screens, and that was actually a big part of Pokken, is that you had your own screen on your pad and everything, and it was this. And playing multiplayer Pokken locally on the Wii U was really weird. Because it was designed to be like a single player, you play with the big fat thing with the screen type game. So it was just the control scheme was designed for that mechanism, and so when you try to play two-player and the second player is basically using the TV instead of that screen, it's awkward. So
that's 0% accurate.
Oh God, fuck.
The arcade version had two screens because it was the way the Japanese arcades did it. It was two screens, two players on the same cabinet, but you're sort of facing each other instead of being side by side. Having your own screen to play the game on the Wii U was a nice Wii U exclusive home version perk. My reason why it feels weird is I'm talking about the core mechanics.
Okay.
Where you have a game. I wasn't trying to get a whole
it's called dual phase, wherein certain moves will change because of that, and then you easily get knocked out of that and be stuck in field phase, and vice versa.
Right.
It's a very weird dual mechanic that is hard for me to personally grasp as a finding great.
I felt like with the interface, with the UI that they had on your personal screen, it was easier to figure that out, and it was actually easier to figure out how to get in and out of that phase. So
I just have to go through training mode again.
Yeah, I felt like it was pretty easy to grasp when I was playing it the first time, but I did feel like the multiplayer was decidedly awkward, because I played multiplayer on that a couple times, and it seemed a little more awkward than the single player did, for sure.
Definitely handles it a little better.
I think the only other multiplayer games I can recommend would be ARMS. Be warned, it didn't sell well, and it may be hard to find. It's a cute little boxing game.
Yeah.
There's Puyo Puyo Tetris, which is an acquired.
Puyo Puyo Tetris, yeah, I forgot about that. That's another good one.
But if you don't want to, if you're...
I have a friend on another server who actually plays it for fun.
There's always Tetris 99, which is free.
Yeah.
Except you have to have a Nintendo Switch Online subscription in order to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't recommend the expansion pack.
Yeah.
Unless they add Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut to the mix.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo Switch Online is going to be a must for playing most online games with most games online with Nintendo Switch, like Pokemon as well. God.
See, I do believe that Mario Kart 8 multiplayer is online only.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that have online-only multiplayer, or that really perform much better multiplayer when they're online rather than local. But I know that Pokemon has local multiplayer on theirs, but you need to have each player needs to have their own copy of the game, of course. Except with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, ironically enough. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee both have a two-player mode where both of you can run around and basically you work together to catch Pokemon, but basically there's only one player who has a team at a time. So it's complicated.
Yeah, it's also really dumb.
It's basically the second player just acts as a helper to the first player. and helps them fill out their team rather than the first player,
that
and the
basically
second player
turned-
having
that
each
bas-
having their own team or something. You know.
That basically turned the game into super ultra baby mode.
Yeah. Anyway.
Which
Yeah,
is
so-
Baby mode.
yeah, it is also a stupid game.
I mean, yeah, the whole game is baby mode, so
Yeah, it's even extra baby mode for 2-player.
yeah. Anyway, Animal Crossing is of course on the Switch. If you're looking for a game that your wife will probably play with you, that's the one.
Yeah,
Like, my sister plays it. That it just to give you an idea of how girl friendly that game is. So. Like,
Yeah, my wife is flipping you off on that.
I'm just saying, like, she'll probably play some of the other games with you too, because she's way more of a gamer than my sister is. But like, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, girls love Animal Crossing. It's a thing. They're like genetically programmed to like it. So
That's so true.
actually, my sister doesn't play Animal Crossing, but she does play Stardew Valley.
yeah,
That's practically the
similar
same
shit.
thing.
Stardew Valley is basically like a cross between Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's
it
like-
pretty much is.
One of those like simulatory games, like games where it's just like a simulation. You just sit back, relax. Games like that tend to be played with more casual gamers. So
yeah,
Yeah.
Harvest Moon, aka Story of Seasons, also games that that girls tend to like a lot.
Yeah.
That particular game series, one of the reasons girls like it is because there's like a romance simulator thing. Like you basically, like you could get married to several
Fire Emblem
different
series,
characters and all
the
that
Fire
stuff.
Emblem series, ever since like the 3DS games,
Mhm.
the female fan base grew so much because of the
romance simulator shit. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, all
Yes,
those
Hutch,
real
Stardew
romance
Valley. It's a
female-
real game that exists.
Dimitri
Look it up.
from Final Fantasy. Dimitri from Fire Emblem Three Houses is like
Final Fantasy, really? Yeah.
The last two recommendations I have, now that I think of it, is Kirby and Forgotten Land. It has a full co-op mode, but it's only 2 players.
Yes, it is the best co-op mode. Or one of the best co-op modes.
Ooh, and also, speaking of Kirby,
Our
I
allies.
don't know if you'll
Our
like
allies
it.
are
Okay,
players.
listen. Let me say this first.
Hi.
I don't know if you like it more than you brought. Hang on. Trying to get the words out. You won't like it more than Forgotten Land, but Star Allies is a decent co-op game too.
I mean, you don't know if I like it less, but
Wait, what?
not everyone is useful. It's just saying. Yeah.
And my last recommendation is just on
I mean, I'm
pure-
just saying, it's just a recommendation. I know. Wait, what were you saying about me? I forgot.
my last
before
recommendation
you
is
interrupt
purely
people,
on
let's
the
see.
gameplay value.
Sorry, I have to say it really quick before you started rambling on for like 15 minutes.
Single player, but
No offense, by
it
the
has
way.
like 1,000 hours worth of content.
Hey, I said
Yeah.
no offense.
So, anyways, I have I was going to say first of all, Solus, that your statement sounded kind of not I guess not really narcissistic, but actually kind. I don't know. It's just the way you worded that was like, oh, you're not going to like it more than Forgotten Land, but you know, it sounds kind of dickish to say that because you know he could like Star Allies more because of the characters in it or like the
I know for
four player.
I know for sure I don't.
I know. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. All I'm saying is that your opinion isn't just. Like you're allowed to have that opinion, but you should probably think twice about saying, about sounding like your god or something when it comes to whatever. Just forget it. Anyways, my recommendations for multiplayer games. My final recommendations I'll make are one. First one I'll say is Star Allies. It's definitely worth playing. Now this one is definitely one that you probably. I don't know. This one's more of a 50-50. I don't know if you or your wife would like it, but Isaac, because it's a really dark game, so that proceed with caution on that one. But that does have up to 4 players, so yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, but the Binding of Isaac, with the Repentance DLC, it's a really fun game, but it's also like, I don't know if your wife would like it. It's like really bloody and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a bloody game.
Yeah, it's like
One of
it's
the
red
best
death,
games, though.
so it's
Also, I gotta apologize.
a fun game. It's a roguelike shooter.
Also, I gotta apologize for my statement earlier. That was my bad.
It's like it's alright.
I won't let it happen again.
It's okay, man. I was just saying. Anyways, it's it's like a top. You could look into it.
Whips and chains.
It's like one of those top down. It's like like Enter the Gungeon. It's like that, like a top down roguelike.
What'd you say, Siege?
Twin stick shooter.
Oh, since you apologized, I said, oh darn, I gotta put away the whips and chains now.
All right. So Kepitaru, this is something that might interest you. Civilization 6 is on the Switch.
Kind of nice, yeah.
So it does have some gameplay differences from Civ Rev. I still like Civ Rev better, but it's there. It's a Civilization game. It's on the Switch. You can play multiplayer on it. It's so.
If you possibly do so with this employee bonus program of yours, get the OLED.
Yeah, you see
it's gorgeous.
Wait, what did you say? What was on the Switch though? I didn't hear you.
What?
Talking about the OLED.
Yeah. I think he was asking what I was. What we were asking what I was saying.
Oh, you were talking about Hunger.
Yeah, Civilization 6.
Oh.
Yes, I happen to know that Kepitaru really liked Civilization Revolution. Me and him used to play multiplayer on that a lot. We would usually play team, like where we would make an alliance and then try to destroy all the other countries, and it was really fun.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah. Civilization Revolution was probably the best game on the 360. Honestly, it's one of the best games on the 360.
Well, I still play Civ Rev while working.
Yeah.
And I've got it in the digital format for the Xbox One. Yeah. I've got it on PlayStation 3. I've got it on, and I've got disc version for Xbox 360. So
and I happened to see Civilization 6 out there in the wild, and I picked it up and I tried it out. It's like there's a I think a video or a stream of me playing it on the channel at one point, but like I said, it's nice and everything, but it like they added some new features that I'm not super crazy about. So I still like Civ Rev better, but I feel like if I took the time to get to learn it and everything, I'd probably enjoy it a little bit more. Anyway, but just wanted to let you know that it's there.
Yeah, I'm totally going to be getting that. I'm also going to be getting the new Pokemon, especially since I still have Pokemon Bank with all of the previous ones.
Well, they've changed the thing. It's the Pokemon.
They changed the way Pokemon Bank worked.
They started a new service called Pokemon Home, and so you need to migrate all your shit from Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home before they shut down Pokemon Bank.
And also, another thing you might not like, you'll definitely not like, actually, a really stupid thing you'll definitely not like, that everyone's justified in hating, is they completely cut Pokemon from the code nowadays. Like, Sword and Shield only has 400 Pokemon.
Well, no, they added 200 more with the DLC, so it's like it's more. There is
a limit on how many Pokemon you can have in the game.
Yeah, there's a limit on
that, 6 inches. You wanted Sceptile in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Right.
It's probably not going to be in that game at all. You couldn't even transfer it over to Pokemon Bank.
It just depends on which Pokemon they put in. I think that they will probably try to put more Pokemon in. Even if they can't get all of them, I think they will try to put more in than they did with Pokemon Sword and Shield because of how bad the backlash was. And because they've already got the models from Sword and Shield that they can reuse. So it's like, why not,
Yeah, but they're going to be they're going to have better resolution.
A lot of the Pokemon from the Pokemon Bank won't be playable in Sword and Shield.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
That is garbage.
yeah, there are a ton of them that you will not be able to move up. There's
sadly.
at least 200 Pokemon probably that you won't be able to get in there, and most of them are the Gen 4 mons.
Gen 4 is this gen, so like
yeah, because that's because they purposely left them out because they were going to put them in Pokemon Legends Arceus.
They did. Most of them were Gen 4 ones.
It's still a stupid thing.
Most of the
Pokemon
mons that they most
mon.
of the mons they missed out of Sword and Shield were the Gen 4 mons, and they did it on purpose because of Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Which is funny, showing it's just a crappy business decision on their end.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon Sun and Moon on the 3DS, had all 801 or whatever it was Pokemon from Bulbasaur to Aurora.
Yeah.
And the way they handled it.
From Gen 1 to Gen 7.
Yeah. No, when they, like I had a couple of videos on the channel that I'm very proud of so Pokemon, back when Pokemon Coliseum came out, they had these commercials where they were playing this like folksy sounding song about saving the Pokemon, you know? They're like, who will save the Pokemon? Gotta save them all. And like, and in between the verses of the song, they would have these clips of like all these people protesting people that like their Pokemon being taken away, you know, because like the whole point of Pokemon Coliseum was that you had a machine that could steal Pokemon. Anyway, so I took those commercials and I edited them together, and I basically made it like a rebuttal to the Pokemon Company for taking our Pokemon away.
Actually, I remember you showed us that.
Yeah, no, it's on the channel. It's pretty funny. But anyway, the whole point was though that like a lot of the people really hated that, and then like certain people in the community were trying to defend it. They're like, oh well, it's really hard to program and all this other shit, and they're doing it for balance. It's like, no, they're not doing it for balance. They kept Lando, like if you're trying to balance a game, the first thing you do is take Lando out, like. So it's like, no, they're not doing it for balance. If they were doing it for balance, they wouldn't have left Lando in there. So, you know, that argument just goes right out the fucking window.
Right.
But yeah, like Lando is like the bane of the competitive scene for like the last 3 gens. You know.
Yes, this is true.
So. You know, if you were trying to balance the game, that would be the first thing you got rid of. So we know right away that's bullshit.
Which form of Lando?
Either one, really. People run either one. Most people run the Therian one, I think.
Because it has Intimidate.
Yeah, but it's still like, you know, like the funny thing is that they know that Lando is busted because they added a whole bunch of abilities, and they like added or buffed a bunch of abilities to make them resist intimidation.
Yeah, like
they made a whole bunch like unaware and oblivious. They're like, oh, those aren't affected by intimidate now, and like
oblivious, own tempo, inner focus.
Yeah, like they made all these abilities that aren't affected by oblivion. Like they added the adrenaline orb into the game in Sun and Moon. Like there's all this shit that they've been doing to try and nerf intimidate because they know that Lando is a problem. And then they're like, oh, we're taking out a bunch of Pokemon to balance the game, and they leave Lando in.
And then they add a way to nerf the fuck out of Intimidate.
Yeah, so you know, it's something where them saying that they are fixing saying that they're doing it for balance is kind of sus. Just saying. You know?
Yeah. Thanks for staying on a statue that I hate.
Yeah, you know.
That we all know and hate.
No problem. No problem. If there was a statue of Amoongus, I'd stand in front of that, too. Anyway.
There's the statue we all know and hate.
Alright.
Sorry, I have to do it. Sorry if I busted anyone's eardrums.
Anyways, yeah, it's just stupid that Pokemon 3DS Pokemon available.
I
So they have,
found lava.
they have no reason to justify file size being a thing when a 3DS game that's like 2-3 gigabytes can have that many Pokemon. And
Well,
I
and they're
know,
storing it
but
on the SD card or the hard drive anyway. They're not even storing it on the game.
I know. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, Switch games are, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's like every excuse that they tried to use to justify it is BS. The real reason that they cut all those Pokemon is because they didn't want to try to take the time to put them all in, because that would require delaying the game, and they wanted to get it out before the holiday season that year. That's all it is.
Another that helps back that up is
So why not release like DLC to get them?
They did. That's what
did.
With
That's what
each
they did.
DLC, they added over 100 Pokemon back in, but they
bring
still
all-
didn't get them all back
They,
in.
and they still didn't get all of them.
Yeah,
in.
they need to get all of them.
Yeah, they still didn't
I
get
know,
them all
right?
back in, but they added in like 100 plus more with each DLC that they added. So I was hoping they would do a third one that would add the rest of them, but they didn't.
Nope.
Violet. This is the thing that irritates me about Scarlet and Violet, actually. The fact that they're changing the models again means that we're not going to get a lot of Pokemon. Like, we're not going to have them all. If they didn't update the textures on the models, because they're now going to use that as an excuse, we could have every single Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. But
Yeah.
no.
Here's the thing. There's a difference between upgrading the texture and remaking the whole model.
Yeah.
Updating a texture is really easy.
There's
That's why
there's
they keep
difference,
putting
though.
out in regional variants. Okay, like compared to redoing the whole model and all the animations and whatnot associated with that model, the texture's fucking easy.
Yeah, the texture is easy.
That's why
Because
Minecraft has like 1 billion skins, because updating a texture is really easy compared to redoing a whole model. So.
Pokemon, we're going to find an excuse to.
No, like I said, every excuse that they've given has been basically proven invalid. Hi, Blue Wolf. How's it going? Like, it's something
But I
where...
mean, it's not going to be as hard as making new models.
Well, here's the thing, though. They're like, oh, we needed time to make new models. The game comes out, and it's the same models with new textures on them. They didn't fucking do anything. Like, they... like,
Alright, guys.
No,
I
you
got-
cannot. Sorry.
Alright. Thanks, Siege. Take care.
Bye, Siege.
Later.
Man.
Sorry, Blue Wolf, you can't join.
Man. But yeah,
Oh, Blue Wolf also subscribed.
thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. But
Oh,
yeah,
He's going to say that in a bit, isn't he? He's going to be like, hello,
But yeah.
Wolf, I subscribed to your channel. Please subscribe me back.
no.
Nice.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you are asking people to do sub for sub, or if you're asking people to subscribe to you for reasons other than your content, that can actually get you banned from YouTube.
It would be some name if Hutch got banned, wouldn't it? I would hate that.
That
would
would
be so
that would just be terrible if Hutch got himself banned from YouTube. That would
Wait,
just be tragic.
what? What did you think? What would happen if who got banned?
Oh, Hutch.
I was
But what I was saying is that there's a thing in YouTube's terms of service that basically says that like begging for subs and whatnot is not proper procedure, and if you're caught doing it, you can get banned. Like there's been a bunch of people who have started up accounts that are like, oh, 1 million subscribers with no videos, and that's like the name of the account. And those they run around in chat and they don't necessarily, even if they don't ask people to subscribe to them because that's the name of their YouTube account, they can still get banned for trying to get subscribers without actually making content.
Yeah, without making content that's not
Like
worth
it's
while.
actually against YouTube's terms of service to ask for subscribers outside of like a video. Like if you're making if you're doing like a video or a community post and you're asking people to subscribe through those types of content, that's fine. But if you're going on to somebody else's channel and asking people to subscribe to you, that is against YouTube's terms of service, and they can ban you for it.
Yeah, here's the story though. I used to do that when I was
a lot of people did. There's a lot of people who put out tutorial videos on how to get subscribers, and it just says, "Oh, offer people sub for sub." And here's the thing: if you do that right when you first start out, the odds that you're actually going to get banned are lower, but they're still there. Like, somebody can report you for it. If you show up on somebody's stream or in somebody's chat section on their video and start like posting stuff asking for subscribers, and the person who owns that channel reports you for it, and you know, like, you can end up losing your channel and getting your account deleted from YouTube. Like, that's a way to get banned.
I have learned the hard way, like 2 years, like a year after I started making my account.
Yeah. Like, it's against YouTube's terms of service. I don't advise doing it. I advise getting your subscribers the good old-fashioned way by actually just doing good content and getting people to watch you. You know. And the way YouTube is set up is that you can do pretty much anything on YouTube, and it's probably going to have some sort of audience for it. Now, how big that audience is going to depend kind of on what you're doing and how you're doing it. You know, like, you don't automatically get an audience just because you're doing something that somebody else has found a big audience with. You know, like, I've had a lot of people that have asked me, hey, you know, what are you doing to get all these subs? You know, like, they're like doing Pokemon Clover videos or something that I'm doing, and you know, and my channel's a lot more successful than theirs. And they're like, hey, what are you doing to get all these subs? And, you know, and I'm like watching their videos to try and see if I can give them pointers, and it's like, wow, you have a really screechy, awful, hard to listen to voice. I don't know if I can help you. You know, like,
yeah,
you know, like, maybe stop talking during your videos. I don't know, like, maybe get a text-to-speech guy. You know, like, I mean, I don't want to tell him that. I don't want to be a dick, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you kind of don't want to be really difficult to listen to. You know, like,
yeah, that's just plain rude right there.
Right. You don't want to be that guy who's like, hey, everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Gilbert Gottfried. You know, like,
yes.
Like, you know, I mean, and Gilbert Gottfried would probably have a lot of viewers, but, like, I'm just saying, like, some of these people have, like, super screechy, high-pitched, annoying voices, and they're trying to do YouTube content, and it's and sometimes it's wow, we didn't need to know that, Hutch. Thanks anyway, though.
Wait, what did he say?
Okay, here we go. Hutch says, one guy named TCS, Tay Canadian Spartan, got banned from YouTube because he raped and started harassing his ex-girlfriend, Skylar MC Katagiri.
Oh yeah.
Karate Girl, excuse me.
Don't say that. Please, Hutch, please refrain from saying that.
Hi, Cameron.
Refrain from saying that right now. Please remove that at this instant.
Like,
remove it.
You know, that actually
You're not adding to the conversation, jackass.
That actually reminds me of a bit that Gilbert Gottfried did one time. He was roasting Bob Saget. It was a Comedy Central roast of Bob Saget, and Gilbert Gottfried comes out and he starts talking about Bob Saget, right? And he's like, he says, you know, the biggest knock on Bob Saget is these horrible rumors that Bob Saget raped and murdered a girl in 1990. You know, he's talking about, like, he's talking about it in the terms of, like, this is just like a horrible rumor that's going around, but he mentions it like 10 times during the bit. Like,
oh my god.
He's like, it's just a shame that so many people believe that Bob Saget raped and murdered a girl in 1990. You know? No, he didn't do it. That was the point. It was a joke. It was Gilbert Gottfried being absolutely hilarious. Like,
hey Hutch, how's it going with your boyfriend Nick Avocado?
Damn it, oh my Lord.
I had to bring that up to the
Aqua,
disguise.
Aqua, you gotta stop. Hutch's parents don't know he's gay yet. They might find out if you keep saying it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Say it again.
Oh god.
Say it again.
Oh, damn.
The joke isn't as funny the second time.
I know it's just not as funny the second time, but it's
Yeah, it sounds disgusting to be honest, but whatever.
Anyway.
Well, how would I know? I'm not like Hutch.
All right. Anyway. But
He
yeah,
and I totally are not related in any capacity.
Right.
I don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and you already know that, and I'm not freaking gay either.
Wait, is that what he said?
Yep.
Oh my god. I wish I could see what he said in his messages.
Cameron says,
Hey,
"Hey, Pride Month was just a few
ago.
months ago. It's
Hey.
okay." We
Thanks,
support
Cameron.
you. We support you, Hutch, regardless of what you decide to have sex with, as long as it's old enough.
Yeah.
and
I
not
am a male.
calamari. Anyway.
He also says, I am a Sigma male, Cameron says.
We know that Hutch's proclivities lie elsewhere, and that's 12-year-old girls with squid tentacles. So, you know,
Get your weird fetish away from me, Eggman. Oh shit.
You know, it's not necessarily Hutch's fault that he likes
the
squid
more
hoodies.
Hutch speaks, the more hilarious I laugh.
Well, you know. God.
Just saying.
Oh man. But yeah. Jeez. But yeah,
Get a taste of the Overlord's wrath.
Oh my god. I'm saying that from the distance.
I heard that. Yeah. It's just...
Yeah, I was going to the restroom to wash my hands. I've been eating some salmon, and it's getting pretty
Spicy?
And not spicy.
Greasy, not spicy. There's a difference.
Greasy.
Spicy meatballs.
Why? Okay, hang on. This NPC right here. Hang on.
Nike representative.
Nike representative, but hang on though. I'm just saying. Okay. So this NPC is sitting here, right? Like,
yeah.
He reminds me of something, right?
That is.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna show the image of what this reminds me of. Okay. Give me a second. All right. Okay. All right. So, doesn't this NPC kind of remind you of this guy right here?
Oh my god.
Hey!
He kind of does, doesn't he?
He like the red shirt, like he's
all blocked. He's blocky though, so
he kind of gives. Yeah, you can't really tell if he's fat or not because he's like a Minecraft character, but like he just kind of gives off that vibe a little bit. Just
yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, I must go.
If the sweater was more completely red, it would be perfect. But like, it's just, you know.
Hey, this I gotta see.
Right.
Oh, that is a terrible reference that I just made.
Yeah. Anyway. Here,
hang on, throne room.
To anybody who was offended by that reference, I apologize. Here, I'll put something more wholesome on the screen for you. Hang on.
Okay.
There we go.
Just pulls an image of.
Here's something infinitely more wholesome. All right, there it is. The best Transformer.
Yes.
It's just the most wholesome image that I could think of. Oh, jeez.
We apologize for showing you something inappropriate.
Hey, don't beat me to the meme.
To all of
sorry.
our innocent viewers,
I didn't know you were about to pull it
apologize
out.
for showing you something inappropriate.
Oh, I said that wrong. Shit.
Damn.
I said that wrong. Fuck.
Oh, man. Erector, the best Transformer. Look at him. He's absolutely powerful. Just
He's got a hook on his crane.
Oh man, yeah, he's got a crane. He obviously transforms into some kind of massive, powerful crane.
Right.
There's nothing dirty about that. He's just got a thing in a spot. You know.
Yeah, just it's just there.
Yeah. Nobody found anything wrong with that. You know. It's just let's see. It's just it's similar to this other thing. It's just a part of his alt mode that's just kind of sticking out. Here, I'll show another Transformer that's almost as cool. Give me a second here. All right. Here we go.
It's just gonna be like.
Give me a second. I'm gonna show this one off. All right.
I don't know what it'll be.
Here we go. All right, see, here's another Transformer that is similarly maligned. He's, you know.
Oh yeah. Yep, he sure is right.
He's
with
a little
the
trigger happy there.
Yep, he's got a weird bazooka thing.
You know, he just, you know.
It almost looks like he's. No, that's his fist. I was about to say he looks like he's pointing at us.
Well, you know. But yeah, he's just a guy who happens to have a little part jutting out somewhere unfortunate. Anyway.
Yeah, and the bazooka on his arm.
Yeah, and a fusion cannon. Yeah, but you know, it's just.
Oh, it's a fusion cannon, not a bazooka.
Yeah, he's
Jesus.
He's very powerful. Anyway.
All right. Well, I actually do have to work tomorrow because they changed my schedule because they suck. So
no, fuck
I'm
those
gonna be
guys. All right. Well,
bye,
thanks for stopping by, though. You have a great one.
Bye, Capitara.
Bye.
Right.
Take care, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sweet.
Oh.
All right.
What a damn stream this has been.
This has been a podcast. Definitely not a lot of Minecraft playing going on, but for sure a podcast.
Yeah, this time we didn't even build anything.
I just kind of ran around the realm all stream, you know, like didn't really do shit.
Yeah.
I farmed some iron at Caps' iron farm and then dumped it in the smelter and forgot about it. Like I think I actually pulled it out anyway. But,
yeah, all I did was follow you around.
Yeah, and I didn't do shit, so you know, it was just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet just because I feel like there's going to be a lot of potential for humor there.
There is going to be a lot of potential for humor.
Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff to poke fun at. Like, that's actually why I picked up Omega Labyrinth Life, because I was like, this game is going to have a lot of shit to make fun of.
Yep.
And I was actually surprised at how good it was. Like, As a mystery dungeon game, it's pretty solid. You know, I think it's shorter than a Pokemon mystery dungeon title, like as far as like how many areas there are to explore and everything. But yeah, like as a mystery dungeon, like mechanically, even though there's a few mechanics that I kind of don't like, mechanically it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
It actually is very neat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think many games kind of approach perfection, but that game is pretty nice as a mystery dungeon game. Like that, I've played other mystery dungeon games, not just Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Even though Omega Labyrinth has gotten very hard at a certain point in the game.
It's getting exponentially harder as you go because they keep although I do have to mention that after the stream I leveled up Hinata's abilities and she now has 2 uses on that thing that gets her that gets her food. So
yeah, I keep going back to that one stream where you kept what was the name of that red area again? That last one you did.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I kept going back to that stream to listen to the rage.
Yeah, there was some shit going on there that was annoying, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I know there's a lot of people that love it when I get salty and start raging
yeah,
like a baby.
I find it entertaining.
Yeah, there's some entertainment that value in that, and a lot of people really liked that. So, you know.
Yeah, limiting me.
I do that sometimes, man. When I feel like a game is doing me dirty, I let people know about it. I'm not shy.
Yeah,
but,
me neither.
But you know, like,
I'm not nervous about my salt.
Right. Like Brawlhalla. When I play Brawlhalla, I expect to get my ass kicked, so I don't really get salty on that game. Like I don't get salty the same way I do on other games with Brawlhalla, because it's like when I play, I expect to be beaten. Like,
yeah. Also, that's basically me when I play competitive in Pokemon. Like I expect to get my ass whooped by some pros who use these mons competitively. Like for instance, using Whimsicott to beat up Lucario with Justified.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, I love learning jank bullshit strategies like that and then trying them on people. Like,
yeah, I do like trying these strategies too.
I love that. I love learning these strats. I had like a whole box full of fear errands at one point. Like, it's just, you know, it's just such an easy mon to build. Like, you don't have to have like perfect IVs or EVs or anything like that. You just have an errand.
I even get my ass kicked by competitively built mons for the AI to control.
Right, but like
just like Clover.
But yeah, you have an Aaron, and it has fucking sturdy, and you put it out there, and it's just and it's got Endeavor, and it's holding a shell bell, and that's all it needs. Like, and you know, there's other ways that you can make that even better. Like if you
there's actually one where you actually have a level 1 sturdy Magnemite and you give it recycle and it'll just keep recycling the berry juice and just
recycling berry juice, yeah. But there's like it's something where the strategy with the Aaron, that whole thing, it's there's actually a strategy to it where you can come out with basically what you do is you start with a mon that's going to set up sticky webs and toxic spikes.
Yeah.
And then you can also bring in like something like T-Tar works great for this. You can bring in T-Tar and have it set up stealth rocks.
Yeah.
And then the T-Tar has Sandstream and it sets up Sandstorm. You know? So basically what that does is it gives you ways of damaging the opponent other than Aaron's Endeavor. Like, so basically, you know, if you have poison, if you have toxic spikes out, then unless it's a steel type or a poison type, it's going to get poisoned by them right when it comes in.
You know, I've seen people do the Endeavor thing Endeavor and then quick attack with like Talo and Rattata
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah. The problem with the Talo and Rattata Endeavor strats is that they basically only work once unless your opponent's an idiot. So you go in, you Endeavor them, and then you quick attack them the next turn, and then the next opponent comes in and it kills you. Like that's
Also, Leech Seed, Prankster, level 1 Cottony. That's another one.
That's a good one. That with substitute, you need substitute.
Yeah, if you set up substitute with that, you're basically
substitute Leech Seed, Prankster, and you can also put Toxic on it too. But
yeah, you put like Protect, Substitute, Leech Seed, and
Toxic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
Man. Okay, Hutch. Sturdy, when it first came out in Gen 3, it had a different effect. It's not that it never works at all. It's that the effect was different. In the original games that it debuted in, the only thing Sturdy did was block OHKO moves. So it prevented you from getting killed by sheer cold and
stuff like
Fissure,
Horn Drill, Guillotine,
you know, all that. It made it to where those moves couldn't kill you.
But they changed it in Gen 5.
They changed it later on to where it had the effect that I'm describing, where you live with 1 HP no matter what kind of hit you take, so you can't get killed in one shot.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But so the strategy
on my part.
Yeah, so like the strategy with Aaron is a little more reliable because you can set up a Sandstorm, you can set up Toxic Spikes, and then you basically will sit there and Endeavor everything that comes out, and then one of those two things, or both of those two things, will kill it. You know? So the only thing that doesn't work on, of course, is going to be a Steel type, because, because a Poison type will still get killed by the Sandstorm. A Ground type will still get poisoned, but if it's a Steel type, it doesn't get affected by either one. So you have to come up with another way to kill it.
Doesn't Pineco also set up Toxic Spikes with Sturdy?
Yeah, you can have you can have Pineco act as a Sturdy setter, to do spikes and whatnot. Like I said, I like for this particular strat. One of the things I like to do is to bring in T-Tar right off the bat and have it stealth rock, and then switch it out for something else. And T-Tar could be the second thing you bring in too, because you want something that's going to set up Toxic Spikes for you. I like to use something like Skarmory. I think Skarmory just has regular spikes, but
Skarmory can just use spikes and stealth rocks and then just whirlwind them out and switch them back in.
Right. Yeah, but you want something that'll set up like sticky webs and or toxic spikes. A lot of people use Smeargle just because it can learn like 4 different hazard moves.
He can learn basically anything if you just sketch them on him.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people will teach Smeargle like 4 different hazard moves and use them as their hazard setter and put a focus sash on him.
Or there are some that sometimes give it like Shell Smash and Baton Pass and crap.
Yeah, I think Greninja gets Toxic Spikes too, if I remember correctly.
I think so too. Yeah.
It gets something crazy. It might just be regular spikes, but Greninja gets some sort of hazard move that you wouldn't think it would get. But anyway, the whole point is if you can set up sticky webs and that'll actually slow down your opponents for later. And then if you can set up spikes, spikes is really what you need for this strat to work really well. Because if you get toxic spikes, not the regular spikes, but if you get toxic spikes, that's actually going to poison everything that comes in. And all they need is 1 tick of poison damage after the Endeavor to finish them off.
That's all. That's all it really takes, to be honest.
Because basically what you're trying to do is you want them to hit your Aaron with a regular attack, and then the Aaron attacks them with Endeavor and while it's at 1 HP and knocks them down to 1 HP. And then what we're talking about, Hutch, is setting up Sandstorm and the spikes. So even if they fly, the Sandstorm gets them. Because the idea is that you have an Aaron and it uses Endeavor, and it knocks them down to 1 HP, and then they take a tick of damage from either Sandstorm or from the poison or the poison, and it kills them. And then it just keeps moving on to the next one. That's because the Endeavor restores Aaron to full HP, and he's ready to go again.
I watched a lot of Temp 16's videos on how he does it all.
Yeah, Temp has some great strats, like some great super troll strats like that.
Yeah, some super amazing, powerful strats. Yes.
So, Stealth Rock does work on almost everything. There are a few Pokemon that are immune to it. Anything with magic cards, Stealth Rocks, I don't think works on. So, but other than that, yeah, Stealth Rock pretty much works on everything. So yeah, it's. But the thing with Stealth Rock is you have to get the Pokemon to switch in, and they only take the damage one time, and they take the damage when they're switching in. So Stealth Rock doesn't work that well with the Aaron strategy. It's a different.
There are the ones that can.
It obviously works differently in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Yes.
It does work. Yes.
Anyways, I think I'm gonna head out now.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm probably gonna go ahead and end the stream off. People are kind of dropping like flies in here, so.
Talking about stuff that doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, it's a Minecraft podcast. It makes sense.
Yes, it's a Minecraft podcast. Of course, we're going to talk about things that aren't Minecraft.
Anyway. I think the Pokemon podcast was better, to be honest.
Anyway.
It's something I can actually sit and listen to because I play so much of it.
All right. Anyway, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. We'll be back with another podcast next week, so look forward to that. And of course, as always, I do hope everybody has a great day. Bye-bye.
Later.
This is the way it had to be.